aphorism. That is 80. Okay, so in 78, Hahnemann, just to give the introduction about the miasms, or particularly chronic miasms. Then in 79, Hahnemann start to discuss about the psychosis and syphilis. Then now we just enter into the 80. 80 and 81, Hahnemann start to discuss about the psoric miasm. Okay, so incalculably. First he start, incalculably means it is not possible to calculate. Greater and more important than 2 chronic miasms. Okay, so it is not possible to calculate about that miasms. Okay, that is the 2 chronic miasms just named. However, is the chronic miasm of Psora. Okay, so this miasm is nothing but a chronic miasm of Psora, which while those 2 reveal their specific internal dyscrasia. Okay, because that 2 miasms, they have the specific internal dyscrasia. Okay, that is that they produce a physiological unbalance in particular part. That is the one by the venereal chancre. Okay, so syphilis means it is the venereal chancre. The other by the cauliflower-like growths. Other means the psychosis. So when you think of psychosis, it just to produce the cauliflower-like growths. You already know about that one. So syphilis, definitely it is probably the venereal chancre, and psychosis, definitely it is just it produces a cauliflower-like growths. But what happened in Psora? Just to see. Thus also, after the completion of the internal infection of the whole organism. Okay, so psoric miasm, when it affects the body, it just completely affects all the parts of the body, irrespective of any organs. It affects all the organs. Okay, announces by a peculiar cutaneous eruption. So after affect internally, okay, this psoric condition produce a peculiar cutaneous means skin eruption, sometimes consisting only of a few vesicles. Okay, vesicles means you already know about them. It is what is called, it is a small small infection is there. Okay, it is also a rounder shape, and also the vesicles is there. Then next, what happened? No, few vesicles accompanied by intolerable voluptuous tickling. Intolerable voluptuous means that person want to be scratch. Think of sulfur. Okay, voluptuous tickling. What is the meaning of tickling? Means tickling sensation means it just touches, it causes the scratching. Okay, that is called as tickling. That is exciting by touching lightly. Certain persons are very sensitive. Even though you just touch that person, they are laughing. Okay, and also they are just dancing when you touch that body. Clear? So here, that is called as touching, tickling. That is a tickling sensation. Some of the drugs are also having the tickling sensation. So when you touch us, they just like that. Okay, then tickling, itching. So tickling, itching. That itching is like that. So whenever there is any small touch is there, automatically that patient causes to like that one. Okay, so sort of the itching within bracket, and a peculiar odor must be there. There is a peculiar smell. The monstrous, because in a film just you see that one. There is a huge giant is there. It is not possible to calculate what is the shape of the animal. It is incredible is there. Okay, it is not such a large, means don't think that the large miasm Psora is the large animal. No, it produced at that type of disease condition the human being. More disease conditions. Okay, there is a monstrous internal chronic miasm. Okay, so that conditions produced monstrous internal chronic, that is the disease condition affect the internal chronic miasm, the Psora. So Hahnemann mentioned that word, the Psora, the monstrous, the Psora, the only real fundamental cause. Okay, so now this Psora is only real fundamental cause for all the disease condition, and producer of all the other numerous. Okay, so this psoric condition also produce many disease condition, other numerous. I may say innumerable. I may say means Hahnemann told. I may say innumerable. It is not possible to calculate innumerable form of disease which under the name of nervous debility, because some of the disease conditions, I even mentioned that there is a psoric manifestations are here. Okay, so under the name of nervous debility, hysteria, hypochondriasis, you already know about that, the cyphosis in the case taking. Okay, there is excited people, mania. Okay, there is a mind disturbed people, melancholia, it is also one of the mind depressed. Then imbecility, it is also one of the mind madness. Okay, so these are the mental conditions that is called as nervous debility, hysteria, hypochondriasis, mania, melancholia, imbecility, madness. Then epilepsy, it is also somewhat related to the nervous system, and convulsions of all sorts. Okay, the convulsions, because you already know about that. Where is the psoric miasm acts? This psoric miasm mainly acts upon the nervous system. Okay, so all the disease condition. Then next, softening of the bones, rachitis. Okay, softening of the bones, maybe due to the affection of that particular nerve, spinal nerves. So also it leads to degeneration of the, because nerve is affected, it is also affect the other parts. Okay, that is softening of the bones, that is a rachitis. Scoliosis. What is scoliosis? Means abnormal lateral curve of the vertebral. So some persons are lateral curve, abnormal lateral curve is there. It is also one of the conditions by Psora. Okay, abnormal lateral curve to the vertebral column, and kyphosis also like that one. Then caries, that is destruction. Cancer. Okay, then fungus, nematodes. Okay, fungus conditions, nematodes, worms conditions, neoplasms. Okay, the cancerous conditions, gout. You already know the rheumatic condition, hemorrhoids. Okay, piles, you know about that one. Jaundice, cyanosis, dropsy, amenorrhea, hemorrhage from the stomach, nose, lungs, bladder and womb. Okay, so here that hemorrhages takes place in all the area. Hemorrhage from the stomach, nose, lungs, bladder and womb. Womb is uterus, which just consists of the viable. Okay, it is also a problem there. And womb. The next of asthma and ulceration of the lungs. Okay, of asthma and ulceration of the lungs. Of impotency. Okay, you already, it is inability to conceive. And also the barrenness. Barrenness means it is mostly occur in the woman, they are not having the child. Okay, barrenness. Of migraine. It maybe indicates that one-sided headache, that is the vascular headache. It is also particularly affects the woman. Okay, that is a migraine. Deafness, cataract, because you already know about that cataract. Amaurosis, it is also eye trouble. Okay, urinary calculus, you already know about the renal stone. Okay, renal calculus, paralysis, defects of the senses, all this defect of the senses. And even just to put in one word, defect of the senses, it includes all. And pains of thousands of kind. All type of pains are produced by the what is called the psoric miasm. Okay, so all the pains. So Heinemann mentioned the pains of thousands of kinds, etc. figure in systemic works on the pathology as peculiar independent disease. Because in pathology, different systems are there. Because when you see that one, nervous system is affected, respiratory system is affected, digestive system is affected, and also muscular system is affected. All the systems are affected. So they just have the different systemic pathology for that one, and they give the various name for the disease condition. Okay, but here, what happened? The psoric. The psoric only is the real fundamental cause for all the disease condition. That's all. Okay, so when you prescribe the antipsoric remedy, all the disease conditions are disappear. Okay, so this is the picture of the Psora. Because when you use the psychosis, it is just to limit the condylomatous disease. When you take the syphilis, it is only just the chancre or venereal disease. But what happens? Psychosis, psoric condition. It just affects all the parts of the organism and produce the innumerable. So only Hahnemann put the word monstrous. Because now only you know the meaning of the monstrous means it is the various heads. Okay, the various heads with the animals like that one. Because it produces many disease conditions. Okay, clear? Thank you.
அகிலம் போற்றும் பாரதம் இது இணையில்லா காவியம் தர்ம அதர்ம வழியினிலே நன்மை தீமைக்கு இடையினிலே விளையும் போரினில் சத்தியம் வென்றிடுமா சக்தியையும் பக்தியையும் ஜென்மத்தின் முக்தியையும் அகிலம்